Howard Stern case. So basically, the plaintiff in this case, his name is Jeff Roach. The defendant is Howard Stern and Infinity Broadcasting, which hosted his show, nationally televised show, it was years ago, at least 10 years ago or so. And basically, the brief summary of this case is that Howard Stern, the defendant, along with his peers, were crudely tampering with the cremated remains of the plaintiff, Jeff Roach, sister Deborah Roach, on a nationally televised show. So basically, the cremated remains were brought to the show by a close friend of Deborah, John Taden. Now, basically, the issue here is that the defendant's action, Howard Stern, whether they were outrageous enough that they inflicted emotional distress upon the plaintiff, which is Jeff Roach. The ruling here is that the actions of the defendant must be, quote, so outrageous in character and so extreme in degree as to go beyond all possible bounds of decency, and to be regarded as atrocious and utterly intolerable in a civilized community, unquote, that will cause emotional distress.
Okay, so I want to underscore that. Outrageous, beyond all common decency, intolerable in a civilized society. Doesn't that sound like Howard Stern?
Alright, so basically, the analysis here is that Howard Stern tampering with the cremated remains of Deborah Roach can be deemed as an action which can cause emotional distress. However, the actions in which he tampered with the remains were very vulgar and disrespectful. However, Roach's complaint about Stern's actions can be dismissed if it fails to be seen as on the same level as outrageous, which could lead to emotional distress. Now, the conclusion here is this. First, the plaintiff's complaint was at first dismissed because the defendant, Howard Stern, did not see his actions as an outrageous levels of which would cause emotional distress. However, an appeal reinstated the complaint, claiming that Stern's actions were actually they were sufficient and necessary enough to cause emotional distress. What followed after was Stern and Infinity Broadcasting eventually settled the case for an undisclosed amount of money.
So we got that procedure. The plaintiff sued at the trial court. The case was dismissed on a motion for summary judgment. It went up on appeal. The Court of Appeals said, wait a minute, there's sufficient evidence of outrageous conduct. So they sent it back down to the trial court. The trial court was reversed by the Court of Appeal. And then when it was returned to the trial court, Howard Stern and Infinity settled the case for an undisclosed amount of money. Now think of the largest number you can think of, add one, and that's probably what the plaintiff's got. Because you don't mess with human remains, especially when the family's asked you not to. Okay.
Alright, so basically, right now the setting is that we're on the Howard Stern Show, nationally public televised show. This is Howard Stern, John Taden, Robin, and at the end there, we'll call her the voice. The voice.
Alright. What's in the bottom?
They look like clamshells.
Boy, that's wild.
Dig down, that's not normal, is it?
Chon and chunks.
There you go.
What's it taste like?
Tastes like cracker.